each of you, and what you think was the most defining moment for each of your characters.
Ooh. Okay, I'll start. Good question, by the way. My favourite episode was actually one that I wasn't in very much because I'm such a generous actress. My favourite episode was Measure of a Man. Because I love me a courtroom drama as well, you know, so it was like Star Trek meets Law and Order. And I think the defining moment, for my character, there were two. First one was the child, because I was going to get fired the first season. Yeah. And when Jean told me at Jonathan and Jeannie's wedding that the first episode of the second season was going to be a Troy episode, that actually I was on the floor in a puddle, because, you know, it was so huge. But I think as far as my character goes, face of the enemy. Because, yeah, and I have to wait till, what, season 5 for that one? Was it season 4 or 5, somewhere in there? When they kind of went, oh, she can kick some ass. And it's like, have we met? Writers, you know, so I think they were the two for me. Favourite episode, defining moment. They're very old.
The favorite episode was, it's really hard. There were two that were jockeying for the favorite, and one is The Offspring, where Dana Bill's the child. One of the most fabulous endings, and also The Drumhead, where Patrick is sort of on trial. I thought that those two were incredibly wonderful. And the funny thing is, Jonathan Frakes directed both of those. In terms of, you know, a pivotal moment for my character, it wasn't, you know, there was, like Marina says, you know, for an orphan, I had so many relatives and children and stuff like that. But I think another episode that Jonathan directed was, the one where Kayla comes back with my kid. What was the name of that? Reunion. Thank you. That was a defining moment for the character, because it kind of set in motion this whole thing about Worf being a parent, and he was a horrible parent. He's always run into Counselor Troy's office like, well, I don't understand this, Troy. What is this about? And she said, okay, Worf, sit down and breathe. And think about what you feel. Well, I feel I want to beat the child. That's what I feel. Well, you can't beat him anymore.
I think for me, probably the most defining moment was after I had been fired because I spoke up to one of the writer-producers in the first season, and there were some things that I thought were sexist and racist, and I actually I should not have done it probably the way I did it. What can I tell you? But I did. That was what I was used to. It's just, you know, you say what you feel. It was my first TV series. And, but anyway, so the defining moment was when, you know, the phone rang about a year later, and
they begged you to come back.
Darling, it's Patrick. Is there any way? You know, anyway, that was a pretty cool moment. And then also, I think in terms of episodes, I too felt there were a lot of amazing episodes, and it shifts. You know, as I age, I sort of go, yeah, I like that one's now my favorite, or whatever. I do think that the Borg, just the first time we ever saw the Borg, it was one of the most incredible enemies, you know, and it was really something about technology. I thought that Descent parts 1 and 2 were pretty extraordinary. And I also liked both of the ones that you guys mentioned. There were so many amazing episodes, and the more you go back and see them, I'm actually more and more impressed with how many great ones there were. For me personally, I think I always love to do the ones where I could either do a little combat or, you know, like I loved even the Vortex, you know, on a couple of them, or when even in Symbiosis, to be able to commandeer a ship or something. But I think I loved Remember Me a lot. It was a really interesting